always strive for, and that's why he loves these kind of champions. We'll see if he gets something this game. Koi banned Zed against him yesterday.
I liked the Koi ban Zed against him yesterday remix that you just put together for us there, Mark. Of course, we're talking about one side right now. We talked about Astralis, we talked about Leader. It was a great performance from the entire team. And on the opposite side, we've seen from SK Gaming as well, especially day one, immaculate team fighting, Irrelevant, really popping off, really showing up. And this is a matchup where, again, when you looked at these rosters at the start of winter, you might not have known where to focus. You might not have been super excited, but coming into today, I feel like we can look anywhere and we have an interesting matchup based on what we saw. That said, bot lane remains the most interesting to me by far. Had to say by far because we're going to talk about AD carries here.
Saksa.
Exekick DOS versus Kabe Jianghun. I mean, already we're seeing 3 AD bans. These are the guys who have the potential to carry their teams, who have been star performers. 2 AD carries who are fighting to be in top 3 right now, I think it's safe to say, alongside Upset and Hansama based on the performances we've seen thus far.
Wow, look at all these AD carry bans. Xayah, Varus, Zeri, Lucian, Caitlyn all taken off. What does that leave? Sivir, Ezreal, Aphelios, Draven are like the next in line of AD carries that we'll see. Looks like Markoon will be on tank duty as this goes towards the Sejuani. I think it's his most played next to Vi. And I think the importance of Vi might drop slightly with things like Zeri being out, Lucian being out, these mobile AD carries that you need to lock down, so they value tank and engage over everything. Oftentimes here you'll see things like Jace flex, Gragas flex, Veigar insta locked in there.
Veigar.
Alongside the Vi as well. Will be good setup.
Now, while it is a giant meme that Leader only plays melee champions, that is what we've historically seen him tend towards. So seeing an instant lock Veigar here.
This is a Veigar flex, I think.
It is. It must be, because I'm not ready to call it mid laner yet. Support? Is that the angle here? I don't know what you've seen in solo queue so far.
I think it's probably AD carry Veigar flex, because I remember Kobe used to play a lot of Veigar bot, and I know that Kobe has always been a pretty proficient mage player on the bot side of the map. So. And Leader's champion pool is very AD heavy, so having AP somewhere else, especially on bot lane, is great. If they can play some kind of like Veigar Gwen or something along those lines with a Zed, that would be Astralis bread and butter skirmish heavy. It was in the BLG series today, Yagao was playing Veigar. It looks so strong when you have champions like Gnar even, anything that can knock them into the cage.
And I think the big thing here too, as well, is that the premier duo that is left on the table, based on what we've seen over the last few days, is Aphelios Thresh, but the Thresh Lantern is just essentially hard countered. And you talked about pulling someone into the cage, and I think you're right. I think your read is completely correct. Now, of course, Kabe played the Veigar last summer. Shout out to our stats team for getting us the stats there pretty quick, but this is a ruthless combo. If any hook hits you, the cage is guaranteed to hit you. If the cage comes down and you get out of it, you can get hooked back into it. This is merciless.
SK should know this is 100% Veigar Pyke bot. Like, you don't pick Pyke like that if you're not playing with a self-sufficient like mage wave clear champion, unless they are playing something like Veigar mid with Ziggs. You can see the Aurelia bans already. They read it. They know Kobe is going onto that Veigar. It's a bit of a fake flex, I think, you know, when you have players like Leader and Kobe on your team, because Kobe likes it. Leader has not really played it at all. So SK won't fall for that trap. I'm yet to be surprised. If they do put it mid, I'll be very surprised, but we'll have to see what happens. But I'm really excited for this draft already. The execute damage on Astralis already is absurd. Pyke Veigar, if you're within that threshold, instantly gone.
And if you're not, you're going to get to the threshold pretty damn quick with the amount of easy setup. These 3 champions alone should be able to kill Aphelios in any and every team fight, assuming they get close enough. And I think that's part of the reason why the Scion is now banned away, is they do not want to give SK the avenue to fight front to back, to be comfortable. GP taken out 2. I like SK taking that one away because, again, Finn has shown excellent performances in winter, but also this is something that a champion like Veigar could really struggle with. You get caught out by a GP ult, you don't really have the mobility to get away from any champion that wants to dive onto you.
What do you pick here? Jace would be quite nice. Do you want to flex Jace? Yeah, Jax also works pretty nice. I think countering mid is important. See where this Annie goes. Give Leader all the tools he needs to find a pick into it. See what Irrelevant matches it with. Often we see Gragas into Jax, Gnar, something that can just go even. You never really see any kind of explosive matchups. Fiora is something Irrelevant could opt into, but it's a bit of a risky matchup to go in towards. It's more of like an Eastern answer. Orin is another one if you just want to play a raw tank. They have got an immobile mage, but it's actually going to be Sejuani top by the looks of it. And they're going to put Markoon on the Lee Sin jungle. Now that opens up things like Ahri here, and Talia especially, for Certus if he wants to go towards a control kind of style alongside the Lee Sin to pair well. We'll have to see. It could also be any mid.
Is he a Lee Sin solo lane enjoyer? I'm inclined to agree with you. So 20 top feels like the safer bet. Obviously, it was popular in metas past. And so now, again, we're going to see the Rakan come out for DOS. This was a massive factor in their win on day one. Massive team fight, team play, engagement. All those options is now leader debating here. Yone's like at 20-30% magic damage, so it doesn't hurt too much. You've got a lot of champions. Jax and Yone both going to do a little bit of magic damage, but I think it should be more than enough AD alongside a Pyke to be fine. Instead, the Sylas now coming out. You got a lot of good ults to take away.
Interesting. I think maybe a little bit more on the AP side than they would have wanted, because Jax does have a nice little bit of magic damage there as well, and they're not playing an auto attack damage champion. Yeah. Oftentimes when you have a comp with a mage bot lane, you want to play something that can actually burn Nash down with DPS. An auto attack based champion, Tristana Lucian mid was the old school way of doing it. Now they don't have something like Yasuo or Yone to like on-hit crit to get things like the objectives down, so that's going to hurt them a little bit, but their skirmish will be good, their team fights will be good, they have a lot of control. I think Leader has a lot of good ults to take away, but his champion innately, they have quite short range, so he should be able to find his way onto the backline.
Incredibly short range. This has to be, I mean, Veigar is going to give you a little bit of protection with the cage to walk up for only himself to auto-attack the tower. This is going to be a little bit tricky if they cannot snowball a lead. If we get to a point where SK can maybe secure a Baron, this composition can fall apart very quickly. They don't have good wave clear, but as you highlighted, 3v3 skirmishes early, these first heralds, these first objectives, it's going to be so hard for SK Gaming to match in terms of just the sheer amount of utility coming out from these champions on the Astralis side.
And I think we're already seeing in the first week here that Leader's champion pool kind of unlocks Kobes a bit, because he can play these mages, but if you have a mage mid player, it's really hard to play mage spot because he doesn't want to lean into these skirmish heavy champions. And the meta is so kind of fluid right now that you can play whatever you want. Even Closer in Sandbox is playing things like Irelia mid. Yeah. So you can play anything in any situation if you think it's a good angle, and Leader has all of these pocket picks that pair well with mage bots, so I think their drafting has just become a little bit easier when it comes to flexes. Quite easy to read into sometimes though, but it does get you some of these weird skirmish heavy drafts.
Wow! From the USA, welcome to EMEA, welcome to Berlin, and welcome to SK Gaming versus Astralis, our first, and I'm going to say best matchup of the day.
First place versus first place.
And you know what? I'm just going to call it out right now. Junghoon, Halo Blades, Pyke. If you pick anything else in solo queue, you're a baby. You're a little baby, and you should be braver and pick Halo Blades.
They're trying to cheese the Sejuani. I saw this, I don't know if it was in the LCK, but there was an Ignite TP Sejuani top, and they always try to go for a level 1. In their game, it did work. Because obviously they're not running Flash, right? It's just an easy kill if you can get any CC on them, but then it looks like they're not able to pull that off. Nice idea. Won't result in anything.
Not able to force Irrelevant to take an unoptimal skill either. So just a bit of an information trade. DOS does manage to get that vision down. We'll see where 113 starts, but the second that ward is placed, you know where the jungler is starting.
And I think it's always fun to look at the minimap. You just saw 113 ping Raptors red Krugs. Red pings on the bot side jungle of Marcoon. I think he's just guessing what he's going to do. Might be right, actually. If he does something like red Raptors Krugs, anything along those lines, go towards bot. But I think top side is where both these junglers should look to focus. The Lee Sin Sejuani can be pretty strong in the 2v2s. And a Pyke Rakan lane doesn't have that much kill pressure, I feel like. They're both quite mobile supports. Yeah. Unless you can lock down the enemy carry.
Level 1 can be very impactful for the Pyke. If he does connect on a hook, that and Halo Blades is often lane defining, but normally you see Pyke paired with a champion who can do a little bit more at level 1. Veigar, Aphelios, both pretty trash as far as level 1 damage output goes.
Important to note here on the bot side, matching skins for Astralis.
Love to see it.
Both rocking the green.
People underestimate when you queue up for duo queue, but you really need to have matching skins. Just get a chroma. You know
get a chroma. I think Junghoon and Kobe definitely talks about it. Is that a Pyke chroma? I think it is a Pyke.
It's Pyke chroma. Yeah, that's a chroma.
Yeah. And then it's the Veigar skin, obviously. I think Junghoon was looking for a hook there, but he realized if I hook DOS and he W's on my AD carry,
yeah, you're in trouble.
Could be a bad trade. So I'm not going to opt into that. Marcoon's gone for red into a clear top side, and 113 will be matching that.
Yeah. Lane matchup feels just a little bit awkward on the bottom side, just because Aphelios feels pretty good at level 2. Rakan maybe would want the level 3. It's a similar story for Kobbe as well. But I think once level 3 is coming out, we'll see a little bit more aggressive play there on the bottom side. For now, just checking in on the top lane matchup. Sejuani using some of those base stats, base tankiness to trade back with the Jax. 113 shows his face here, takes the ward out, will walk into Marcoon here.
I think in the long run, Marcoon wins because he has Conquer.
Yep, should do it.
He needs to keep this fight extended.
Continuing to auto-attack, needs to get away from the Q. Bit of a miscalculation here. Surtus now coming on the way up. Leader wants to take the fight. Flash out to safety. Is Surtus going to be forced to flash as well?
Looks like the Vi actually has a lot of base damage in that level 3. I thought Lee Sin would be alright, but I think when you're both half HP or around 60%, the fight doesn't extend as long as you would want if you're both full HP. Now he's looking towards mid. Leader's going to look to connect the chain.
Certus stunned up here. I think he's just going to have to flash out to safety. Is it even going to be enough space? Marcoon can jump in and shield, but I think he just dies too in the process. Is still going to go in anyway. Now trying to turn and burn. Excellent use of the Sonic Wave. Resonating Strike, but Jonghoon is here. Jonghoon trying to be the difference maker. Certus burning, ticking. Leader going to grab the kill, but he's got no mana. But just then, he's going to tick up. He manages to get a cookie, but this Pyke is a dead man walking.
How long on the E cooldown? No Q on Lee Sin.
Das going in.
There's the E.
Holds the E.
He doesn't have W, so he's a bit stuck here.
He can Q him back over their base wall. He's dead.
Is it an execute, though?
Good question.
I
1, 2.
No, it's
No. Das gets it.
Wow, okay, nice turn there by the SK mid-jungle. I think Annie had the stun up on the W, got the double stun, and then Marcoon managed to burst straight through 113. Nice for Astralis to get the presence of mind onto leader, but yeah, Marcoon had a full stack Conqueror and was just shredding straight through them. That's going to be a really fed Lee Sin in this early game.
Good call on presence of mind there. And yeah, here we see, I mean, looks really bad initially, but this is one of the things you talked about with the Lee Sin.
Oh, close.
Once you get low, you get a lot of impact out of this Lee Sin Q.
Yeah, 113 tried to predict the flash of Certus, and he got the right idea in the direction. He just didn't have enough range on it, so he couldn't get the kill. And here, I think DOS, he has E. I believe he might have Q as well or something along those lines. I'm not exactly sure what spell he has, but either way, both supports are level 2. That just hurts Rakan more because he has 3 combat spells, whereas the Pyke W is more for a gap close. So Marcoon's now up towards this top side. Contest over mid. Irrelevant pops the Ignite.
Flashing out safety. Respect there from Finn. Knows that he'll get stunned up. Pulling down to the rest of his team. Well, back away, but already a very explosive early game. 1.3k gold lead. Almost entirely on the back of that bot side play. Level 2 still. For Jonghoon, not ideal. Again, you really... Kabe level 5. These supports are just refusing to lane.
You're going to love to see it. Skirmish heavy around mid. I feel like leader is...
I would love to see him get level 3, personally.
And then leave.
And then
so
leave,
he can use all his spells.
There we go. Okay, now I'm back.
And he listened to you.
There
now
it is.
He's gone again. Off he goes on his wonderful walks around the map. And I think leader is just like... He's like a black hole in mid, you know, he just sucks everyone in. He's just permanently trading, super aggressive, and all supports have to come towards mid. We saw it in the G2 game. And I think we're kind of seeing the same thing here, just calling resources. 113 always loves to hover around. Certus no flash means that Jonghoon will likely visit mid. But he's just covering Kobe right now. DOS looking for some information as to where the Pyke is.
Of course, the biggest difference right now, you see a pretty sizable gold lead for SK, but most of that money is in the back pocket of Marcoon, so he's going to be the player that we have to watch to try to snowball the lead that SK have been able to build thus far. The rest of the areas of the map are still very close. No significant item differences yet. Of course, normally when I look at, you know, kind of the Pyke Vygar bot lane, I'm like, ooh, level 6, they're going to kill people. But Jonghoon's going to be level 4, maybe, when Kabe's level 6. So I think that plan of using the 2v2 for kill pressure might have to wait a little bit longer.
I think it's actually... I mean, Jonghoon will need level 6, but he's playing really low econ Pyke, isn't he? Look what he's doing now. He's running top. I think he knows there's a play coming. 4-man dive on the way to Finn. He's halfway to level 6, so he won't get access to that ultimate. Jonghoon's not enough to cover this.
That's actually
messed
big.
up. They messed that up, but I think they should be able to go for it anyway. Leader's way too far away.
On the way in, level 5 for Finn. Can't get the extra stats. He's going to try to body block what he can. Easy kill onto the Pyke. Finn now going to do it. He's going to try to find a reset here, get away from the bear, but he's just trying to clear the wave. He knows he's already dead. Double kill on the top side for SK. Almost 3k now in the lead.
They are dominating this game here, SK. Leader has just arrived to basically do nothing anyway. Relevant will get the plate, he'll get a couple of minions here, and there's no cross-map available. So Jonghoon could have been bot looking for a dive, but he tried to cover. 113 was on Gromp though, and that was just a clean execution from SK. The second they saw the Pyke, they just instantly went onto the level 3 Pyke. You talked about how, you know, vulnerable the Pyke can be. One shot in a stun, and then drop the aggro, let Tibbers do the work, and then re-engage after tower aggro is reset and the damage is gone. So Astralis needs to look for some more plays here. They're not really getting involved in these skirmishes. It's SK just dominating the map. Marcoon on this Lee Sin. 4-0-1.
And I think, again, credit to SK, because we really were, when looking at these drafts, we recognized immediately the skirmish power that Astralis could bring to bear, but SK have matched and outmatched in so many circumstances now, resulting in this 2k gold lead. Ulti going to go a little bit wide, searches for the sidestep. DOS in the area. An excellent coverage once again from DOS here.
I see what you did there. To bear, because there's an any.
I didn't, but I'll take the credit. Thank you.
Hidden puns.
Got
subconscious puns. They're
everywhere.
They're the deadliest ones. Jonghoon level 4 still up towards his top side. 113 is dinged over to level 6. Certus has access to that Tibbers very soon. Looks like Astralis is just going to force it. Kobe is even making his way up here. So what does SK do? They try to match. Right now it looks like X-Kick's pushing out bot. just going to give this one up by the looks of it. Go towards bot side, take Drake perhaps. Younghoon's going to get some information. We'll find DOS. I think XK can start melting through this tower with his guns.
Yeah, what guns does he have? That is going to be the big question.
Yep. Okay, well, he's going to murder this tower. You have insanely high attack speed the closer you are to your target.
So much ammo as well. Oh my god.
White gun, so...
No, stop it.
There you go. Folks, if you have not seen this yet, this is your #1 Aphelios tip. Anytime someone tries to go to do Herald, just ignore them and take 3 plates. It's the easiest trade deal of your life. Aphelios and Tristana, 2 of the only champions in the game that can essentially just out-trade a Herald like this.
Yeah, maybe Jinx as well in some cases with the attack speed, but yeah, you're definitely right. Aphelios, Tristana are the ones you want to look out for. And for Astralis, it's a bit weird because Younghoon doesn't really want to be bot because his... I mean, look at the items on Kobe. He's just going full scaling, right? It makes a lot of sense. But he can't really get any fights rolling on the top side because they lose all lanes right now and they get pushed in. They have deep vision towards their jungle, which will slowly start to accrue and get worse and worse. Right now it's just on that top tri-bush, but the ward's slowly fading away. And they're going to get Dragon here now, SK. So as long as Relevant's playing safe, not getting too cocky, no cross map available again.
Difficult position they find themselves in. SK grabbed a couple plates on the bottom side, grabbed the Dragon for now, holding on to their gold lead. Of course, there is still a Herald in the back pocket.
Beautiful.
1-1-3. But yeah, you love this, don't you? A Rakan just standing there to be jumped to.
When you're just jungling and your support just starts pulling out the camps and like hits them with you, just feels so safe.
If you want that feeling, you could just play AD carry, where they have to hold the wave for you.
No, but then I have to like learn.
A yes sir, please sir, thank you sir kind of situation.
If I start maining AD carry, I have to learn how to whine.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
I'm not much of a whiner really. So I'm not sure if I can get that.
Okay, just say it one time with me. Support diff.
Support. I mean, that's jungle role as well.
Yeah, support diff. You just get practice saying it, but you gotta get the earnestness.
It's more like gank bot.
Like support diff. You know.
Yeah.
Really let them know that you're no way at fault. Delusion is the core strength of an AD carry.
It is. I mean, look at both AD carries this game. They're just chilling. They're just farming waves.
It's actually so messed up because both these AD carries are good. Not these AD carries.
Yeah.
Solo queue AD carries.
Solo queue AD carries. Yeah.
These AD carries are doing their job, and their job right now is to farm it up.
Should we play a game?
We could play a game.
Small one. Not a too crazy of a game. Younghoon's level 4. He's about to be level 5.
Yep.
What time do you think he'll hit level 6 in the game? I'm gonna say 1350.
1350. I'm taking 1430.
Okay. All right. We'll see who's closer.
That seems impossible, actually, now that I've said it. That's so far away. All right.
Time flies.
Yeah.
It does.
When you're having fun.
Especially when you're dying in these top fights.
Irrelevant is not having fun. He's going to get knocked up and taken out there. 1-1-3, finding the play on the top side. Still has the Herald. Could look to lock it down. Marcoon now locked up. Clean combo. Coming in, Leader. He's got a stolen bear tethered to him.
Leader's bear.
Leader's bear.
It's fading away quite quickly, though. That's going to disappear.
Tibbers.
Oh my god, look what they're unleashing. A Herald, a Tibbers, Tibbers. Just going to back away. Couple plates. Is Leader in range? Did he walk up? He's going to walk up now and realize, like, hang on a second.
Leader's got this, doing this Pokemon trainer thing, man. He got a Herald, got a bear. He's really trying to catch them all right now.
All he needs now is a dragon, and that's spawning in 3 minutes.
Fair.
We saw the power of dragons yesterday, or Saturday, sorry.
True.
Perks on the Aurelion Soul. Yeah, so Finn's just going to stop the base. Not sure if he wants to do that.
That might have been questionable. Quick flash out to safety.
Hashtag worth. So Younghoon hasn't even gotten a tick of XP yet. Hang on a second.
Oh, there he's going back over the wall. 1-3, too little, too late. But the hook coming over, waiting, trying to buy a bit more time. Hook's DOS back, definitely not the ideal target. Not level 6 yet, but the flash through. Marcoon gonna make sure that he gets the stun. Marcoon still living.
How is he out? Is he out? DOS can block. Oh, he tried to get him with the E through the...
Oh my god.
Oh, he tried to pull him out of it.
It's so clean.
He tried to pull him out so that the 1-1-3 could land it. And he was also blocking. Tried to E him through it as well. Didn't get the kill. That's 800 gold that just slipped away.
DOS leaves no man behind. And now 1-1-3. Is he going to go back in? Marcoon, you psycho. No. He's going to resist.
Psycho.
You know his body was telling him yes.
Oh, yeah. It's classic Lee Sin. You always just want to send it, pop the Gore Drinker, and hope you've got enough damage. Wow, Relevant's just taking a full top tower all the meanwhile.
And I gotta say, I was really ready for this to be about AD carry versus AD carry. We got this very pretty Exakick versus Kabe graphic, but this is jungle support versus jungle support, and Marcoon DOS.
Dude, they're just listening to payphone, like full blast. They can barely hear their teammates. It's just farming creeps, tabbing in and out, watching series.
Meanwhile, these two are like fighting. There's like Army of Two. Do you ever play that game, like Xbox game? Just like back to back.
One, the first Xbox.
Guns a-blazing, you know, jumping in front of hooks, taking bullets for each other.
Left 4 Dead style.
Yeah, this is the dynamic people dream of when they queue up for duo queue.
This really is a support diff, really, isn't it? Yeah. You just sit there and They roam around the map. You close your eyes and open them, and you've basically won the game or lost it in the next 10 minutes. X-Kick pushing Yonghoon away. So he's a quarter of the way towards level 6.
It's 13 minutes.
Dropping all... Not really farming at all, is he? DOS is level 6.
Did you say 1350?
I said 1350, you said 1430.
1430.
Looks like we both might be wrong, unless he gets a couple more waves.
Oh, observers, do you know something I don't... Is he about to just get 6 here?
No. He needs 2 more waves on top of this one. He's very close. He needs 1 more wave, basically.
He's walking away from the XP. There might also be a dive here, but we're really mired in our bed.
But there might be a fight, actually, as well.
DOS could get caught out here. Gonna get hooked back, but does not get pulled over the wall. That's gonna be big. DOS now locked up. Should just get cut down here. No room to maneuver. And that is the pick potential of this Astralis comp.
Yep.
Finally coming through.
It is. Look at level 10 Aphelios, level 5 Pike. 14 minutes in. Trying to hover around bot side and get some wards down by looks, but he has a pink in his inventory. Maybe they're trying to threaten some kind of dive if
Does
they
this
do
man
decide to
only
walk up.
want kill experience?
Oh my god,
is he doing a
you're
challenge?
going to be bang smack on the money, Dracos. If he stays for this bot wave, you've landed it. 10 seconds on the next wave.
He's going to leave.
He's going to base. Oh no.
He's going to make fools of us all.
Oh no. He's just basically 2 creeps away.
He refuses.
Yeah, it's going to be 15.
This is like... Okay, we've made too many references today, but you know when they have like the training vest on in Dragon Ball Z and they take it off? He's like
in the spaceship.
Yeah, exactly. He's just keeping the pre-level 6 Pike training vest on as long as possible.
He's going to do some thousands of press-ups on the spot.
Yeah.
When that falls off.
That said, League of Legends works nothing like anime, so you're just weaker.
I don't know. Did you see TRX winning Worlds? That looked like an anime to me.
Fair. In-game.
In-game, yeah.
Yeah. The narratives get pretty anime sometimes.
They do. TP top. Markoon starts Herald. Yonghoon will get 6 now. So 15:01. 31 seconds off, not too bad. And I think that's it. That's all Yonghoon needs now. He can just run around looking for picks constantly. He doesn't really need to soak any more waves.
Yeah.
And the best thing about playing things like Pike is you want to make sure you're in fog of war as much as possible, so the enemy team's always guessing where you are. You never really want to show yourself on lanes unless you're really soaking up that experience.
Yeah. I think the downside right now is that there's a lot of these deficits that are so hard to manage that even if Pike shows up, might not be enough to break open some of these discrepancies. Kabe starting to build up a bit of a gold lead here. Not sure how he's 700 ahead. I guess plates must have come through.
A couple plates, most likely. And I think he's just waiting to get towards that Seraph to get Rod of Ages up to 10 stacks. You can see there, 145 stacks, More and more AP. And I think the issue that SK have is just, that Astralis have, sorry, is that SK has 2 Drakes, and I think they have Herald too, so they need to make sure that they're playing 2 Responds rather than making too many plays of their own. If they go top as 4 and they try to kill, I don't know, Irrelevant, they might just lose 2 mid towers for it, right? They have Herald, you're just going to lose so much. Not really worth it. It's just better to play reactive at the moment. Stop them from getting in your jungle.
I think this is one of the issues that I see already is that I kind of expected Astralis to hit the ground running a bit more, and their mid game is really strong, and we are well kind of cemented in the mid game at this point. But the later we go, SK's composition just feels like it has a lot more reliable tools overall. Getting this triple melee topside into a fight, getting him onto your enemy backline is going to be hard in the face of an Annie, in the face of a Sejuani and a Lee Sin. So Astralis really need to see how they're going to execute this. How they're actually going to make these picks feel good outside of just throwing down a cage or fishing for a pick with their ultimates.
Oh, he lost the cannon. You hate to see it. -1 on the gold and the stacks. Yeah, Astralis just defending their topside jungle. But you're right, I think the fact that they have an AD carry just means it only gets better for SK. And the fact that Astralis have barely any frontline means if XK gets towards 3 items and can be safe in fights, it's going to be a montage.
Confidence from DOS, stepping forward here. Kick. Gets the root, gets the lock up.
Oh.
DOS flashing to follow. Jungkook just barely able to get out of that one.
Oof. Not too bad. They just traded Rakan ult and flash for Pike flash, but the problem is SK now have a wave in. They're going to pop the Herald. I don't think they'll get this tower. No objective to play for either. 2 minutes on the Drake. Leader's fighting on bots right now. I think he's getting engaged on by Irrelevant. Lost half his HP. He's going to be prone to a dive now. He needs to be careful.
Sejuani just very powerful with the Jack Shell already. DOS again just continuing to look for these engaged. Jungkook on the way in. They're going to burn through Leader before the fight even starts. Jungkook now fishing for the hook. He will not find it. Finn coming in, looking for a multi-man stun. Only going to find the Lee Sin for now. Sejuani all turning. Kabe controls so much space with the cage here, but they're going to have to be happy with the bare minimum, which is a bear.
Damn. Again. Loads of bear ones. And they barely get out alive.
Wow. Tense.
They lost mid tower for that, yeah. Good play by SK. And I think Markoon just solidifies the play. Just ward jump in, kick QQ, don't let Leader get out. Don't let him dash away, don't let him try to turn this fight whatsoever. And get the dive and get out. And I think Certus just defended them pretty well with that Tibbers. and then they move towards mid. X-Kick doesn't even have to join them. He just takes mid tower all the meanwhile. And I think here, good engage. Marcoon still has flash, doesn't waste it. Tibbers to peel. Actually, he does flash out. I thought he actually used W, but flashes out. Cage is not in range.
Get the flash, get the recon flash as well. So some cooldowns taken off the board. Flash, of course, earlier from recon rather. But this stage, SK just continuing to trade up. Again, holding on to the 2-dragon advantage. Next drag is in 1 minute and 15. It is just a Cloud Soul, but a lot of ultimate reliant champions here, so will be significant.
Looks like Kobe is just skipping the Seraphs and going straight to Rabadons. He needs to get as much AP as possible, spike as quick as he can. Maybe he knows they might be facing a little bit of a scaling problem and he wants to get as much damage. Glass Cannon now. Looking for a pick on bots here.
Stepping forward, hook on Astralis will connect. Immediate chance to see, but that's the stopwatch coming in. X-Kick, bad guns for a fight, but it might not matter here as they're going to take out Yongu before the fight even kicks off. Kave now throwing down the cage, trying to create a bit more space for the rest of the team. Irrelevant continuing to step forward. Finn now in trouble. Dark Matter will not connect. Big stun, big CC, right onto the backline, right onto X-Kick, and they will finish him. Leader and Finn versus the world. Kave continuing to step forward, throwing down. The damage is big from the Vigar. Astralis are turning this. Astralis are holding on, but Lee Sin is coming, and Leader needs to get the hell out. He is now running for his life. One more Q, one more kick. Dash out, but the Sonic Wave will connect.
Marcoon comes in to save the day, but it's a 3 for 3. No, it's a 3 for 4 actually. Younghoon's respawned. That's how how long the fight went on for. Irrelevant, really low on HP. Good turn by Astralis. I thought that fight was done for, and SK would just clean up. But on the last tick of HP, 113 turns onto X-Kick. Finn and Leader managed to finish him off and skirmish their way out of what looked like a really dire situation. Marcoon makes sure that they win the fight there. Initially missing the Q, so he was a tiny bit later than he would have wanted. Dragon's up. Looks like a round 2 could come in. Pings on the Baron as well, which is also spawning. I wonder if their SK is saying, let's just ignore Drake and go towards Nash here. Certus has TP, there's a mid-wave in. All of the vision is on the bot side of the map right now for Astralis, but Marcoon's position's awkward. They need to run up quickly if they want to get this sorted. Younghoon will pop the sweeper and see Marcoon running towards the Baron, so that means Astralis have the information. And I think the call will be called off.
Yeah, Baron has to stop there. X-Kick holding on to 1 or 2 points of ammo in the Graviton maybe in case they can find a pick. Is Marcoon going to start this Raptor camp? But Dragon being finished right as the top side of Astralis coming back onto the map means there's no real angle for the Baron at this stage for SK. It is something that will be much easier to threaten as we get later and later into the game. Sejuani and Aphelios together obviously going to do a lot of work in terms of shredding that objective down, especially with the gun combo X-Kick has now. But it would be very bold to start it.
They want to fight again here. Look at Finn. He's just waiting for them to go on this mid-wave. But they're in the top side jungle right now, trying to get Red over to X-Kick. Finn's collapsing down. Engaged by 113.
X-Kick. Where's the follow-up going to go? Leader now trying to come in with a Sejuani ult over the wall. X-Kick still standing strong. You do not want to fight into this Aphelios, into this choke, but the baby cage will buy them a bit of space. Now getting locked up. Leader taken out before the fight really even kicks off.
Poor engage by Astralis. 113 getting a little bit too excited. He saw X-Kick with no flash, Q flash ulted, but his team was so far away. And by the time he goes in, he goes out, Leader goes in.
Yep, and Aphelios is murdering this Baron. He has infinite chakram, courtesy of laying down those turrets, so he's just going to shred through this objective alongside Marcoon. 6K gold lead for SK. Every time Astralis try to keep it close, every time they try to make it scrappy, SK come out on top.
Getting harder and harder and harder now. 2-item Aphelios. Yeah, the Bloodthirst is going to do so much work to keep him alive in these fights. Force of Nature picked up for Irrelevant. Yeah, 113, too deep. We'll see it again. X-Kick, no flash. 113 sees him, and he's like, well, let's go, go, go. But look where Leader is. The ult's popped, yes. But Leader can never get there in range, and then by the time Leader's going in, 113's going out. Actually turns onto Irrelevant with the rest of his team, but once 113 leaves, the backline can step up. Leader's in the front line, he goes down. They need to make sure they get that one target down quickly, and then turn onto the rest after they fall. But if they can never really sync up on that one target, it's just a mess for Astralis.
And it's so hard to get on top of X-Kick. Really have to find the perfect angle. Finn stepping forward here onto Certus. Trying to get the pick. Excellent cage to stop Doss. Doss could now be the target, but Marcoon waiting over the wall. Younghoon's going to fish with the hook, but will not get it. X-Kick pushing in on the bottom lane already. Now they're going to try to find the fight at a main advantage. They're immediately going. They're immediately kicking the fight off. Stopwatch, will it come out in time? Certus still running, still holding on to the cooldown. Unafraid as 113 just gets deleted. Younghoon on the backside is going to die as well. There is nowhere for this pike to go. Astralis are trying to dig themselves out of this hole, but they are just digging themselves deeper.
Look at Marcoon, 10-0 and 2 on Lee Sin. 1,000 gold, legendary alongside Doss, who's been helping him out on all these fights. Leader's in trouble, wrong side of the map.
Has a Lee Sin kick to get a little bit of space, but that should just be it. Getting beaten down there on the bottom side, and really just massive credit to SK. Not at all phased by the composition that Astralis have brought out today, and building a lot of these laning advantages and just never really giving anything over to the side of Astralis.
It's funny how the AD carries still really haven't got involved that much. 3 kill participation on both of them. Cobb's trying his best, but the X-Kick's just sitting there scaling, saying, guys, I'll carry the brunt of the game in the 25-minute mark onwards. But Marcoon and DOS doing all the work.
Knock up, huge combo over the wall, and that's got to be it. There's a Jax on top side, but with those death timers ticking down, SK, I believe they've taken this one.
This is 24 minutes into the game, and they're about to end it. Marcoon 12-0-4. I have to just give a massive shout out to the jungle support of SK this game, just outclassing Astralis, matching every play, making plays happen. Astralis never really found a response. Can they end though? Irrelevant doesn't have TP. Leader's going to throw out the ultimate. 5 seconds
coming
on
in. DOS re-engaging. Leader dies. That should just be the end. They're taking their time. Respawn coming in from Yonka, but unless he hooks someone into that tower, or that Nexus rather.
5 seconds on 113. Irrelevant slow. I think they've got this.
There's
really,
no way.
Yeah.
There's no. They just all need to hit it. Just hit the Nexus. The game is over.
DPM though. DPM.
DPM farming.
Yeah.
SK Gaming. After Astralis' performance yesterday, I thought this would be hard. I thought this would be a close-fought match, but SK had Astralis' number, and you highlighted it, and we have to say it again. It is criminal that we cannot give player of the game to 2 players because DOS together with Marcoon. Whew.
What has happened to SK? They are unreal this year. First place, 3-0, demolishing everyone in their path right now. I thought that maybe the momentum would drop a little bit after winter. You know, you go through a break, patches change, maybe they struggle to get back on the horse, but they're galloping.
Yeah. This is, I'm consistently impressed this season by just a lot of different teams. I was impressed yesterday by Astralis, and I'm impressed today by how handedly SK dismantled the same team that pretty cleanly beat G2 yesterday. They're all just best at once right now, but it is impressive. I have not, that is the best performance we have seen from support jungle from SK, I'm gonna say ever.
Yeah, definitely agree. It was basically flawless, really, wasn't it? Especially from Marcoon. Almost died a couple times, especially on that entrance red towards the top side. Just
that
got away.
Clip of him walking away at like 150 HP and DOS just, oh, nope, that hook's not gonna hit. Oh, body blocked that one.
Absolute Giga Chad on the Rakan.
Yeah.
Standing in the way. Yeah, good teamwork.